All right, so now let's go over this drill just a little bit more. So once you have your drill on your guide like that, you're going to want to lay your machine down. Yours should be in the exact same position or shape mine's in. And you should be able to now just reach inside and be able to slide your drill up and down through its motions. And there should be absolutely no binding whatsoever. This should run really, really smooth. And you're going to be able to want to keep that piece of melamine nice and flat to your back piece. If you get it in this kind of shape, then you've probably tackled the hardest part of this build right here, is getting this drill sliding nice and easy in its pocket hole like that. So if you do, and here's another critical measurement too I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention in the last video, is this board, once you have it made, then you're going to be able to measure it, and mine's coming out about 1 inch from the top. So if you were to measure, and I guess it's not quite 1 inch, it's real close, about between 7/8 and 15/16 of 1 inch, I guess. It's, yeah, so real close to 1 inch from the top. And yours is going to change depending on the drill that you use, because if you use a little bit different drill, I've got another kind of model here that it's a little bit thicker, the body's a little bit thicker, so there's not much sense in me giving you this measurement from what it is from here to here, because it may change a little bit. Yours may be a little bit further in because, or a little bit further out because of the drill you use if it's bigger around. So, but just like I said, try to measure these and keep them consistent. And if you get them all consistent, that's running up and down like that, you're in gear to do the next step. So the next step is you're going to want to get a pair of slides made. So the way that I did this is when I had my drill, it's kind of hard to hold this. When I had my drill, like I said, sliding nice and even like this, then what I did is I got that block so it was sitting nice and straight in there. And then what I did was to take a measure from the side, from one side or the other, and measure it. And what I did then is to actually just set a single block down inside of there. And then what I did was just kind of hold it in place and then slide that block up against it and try sliding it up and down. If that works, then you know you got the right thickness of block. So what you could do is then you could measure the other side and make sure it's the same. So then you'll get a block running down each side of your drill like this. If you can get that, and you don't want to keep this tight neither, folks. This can just be loose. Like I've got more than I probably got a good 1/16 of an inch play in there, which you want. You don't need it tight. It's not, like I said, we're not building a rocket ship, we're building a pocket hole machine, so it doesn't have to be super precise. So once you have these two blocks cut so that they're the right side, now your machine, you can hold them blocks in there, you can still slide your drill up and down inside of there. Then you're going to want to get a top piece attached to each side of the slide, and I just overlap this top piece just by a little bit. But here's the thing to do, is you can see that this top piece here, I notched it a little wee bit, probably a 1/16 of an inch, and then that will allow you to use the same thickness of material for all this. I use 3/4 melamine, and then you see that wouldn't bind it, because if I was just to use a regular piece on top, then it would be super tight. Well, we want a nice loose fit, so I just grooved out, as you can see, about a 1/16 of an inch, and then I just, it's only overlapping by a 1/4 of an inch or so, and then what I could do then, that's going to keep the drill from flopping around in there. So get that done to both sides, and then you'd be ready to screw it down. Now I just got to grab my other bit because I want to do this right now. Just got to locate it here. There. So now I'm going to stand this up. Now I can't remember what exactly the measurement was, but I'm going to give it to you right now. So I'm going to stand this up. Now I think the slides were pretty much right to the top, but I'm just going to put the slides back in the same hole. Yes. So I just kept the slides even with the top here, as you can see. But now I'll give you the length of them too, because I didn't give you that measurement. So the length of these slides is about 12 inches. I just kept it simple. Nice even number, 1 foot long slides. They're going to slide down inside. Keep them even with the top of your piece here. And I've just got mine held in place with a couple of screws. It's nothing, there's not any pressure on them, because we're going to go on to the next little piece here, is the little lever that holds that pulls the drill down in place. So once you do have this in place like this, so now you're going to have your set of slides, you're going to have your drill so it'll run up and down like this. Well, you need some of this screen door spring is what I use. So I'm going to pull this right out of here now. So you can see that alongside of the drill, just on one side or the other, then I've got this piece of screen door spring, and that's what it's actually called. It's called screen door spring. Most hardware stores will carry this. It comes in a piece, you know, it's about 18 inches long for a couple of bucks. They're real cheap and they're good and springy. So you need a length of this, and you'll have to bend the end over. And then all I did was alongside of the drill, I just put a screw that I can put that over the end, and that's what's going to pull the drill up out of its pocket hole. So you should have that in place as well. And you can see I've had to bundle my cord, but that's pretty, you guys are going to be able to see that anyway. So there, now we'll slide that back in there. Get my pocket hole, or get it in place. So the reason why I'm only using that single screw too is you could, if you wanted to, make yours so that the drill was absolutely stationary all the time. And then it would be, I'll show you after we get going, how to change your bit. But the reason why I want mine flopping like that, because it makes for a quick bit change. I'm going to be able to just loosen my drill bit off. Like I show, my drill's going to slide back. I'm going to be able to spin it sideways. Then I'll be able to take my drill bit out, which I've shown in other videos anyway. But you could, just by taking another screw or two out, change your drill bit another way too. So if you guys are kind of leery about putting a hole in the end of your drill like that, then just make some sort of bracket to hold it, but just make sure it's running nice and parallel and straight too. So it has to run straight this way and straight that way as well. So now we'll stand this thing up. Now you're going to want to make a little stop block. Now I've just got to find mine, and here it is. It's just a piece of melamine, just a couple or 3.5 inches long and 1.5 inches wide is what I have. And this is going to go right on the inside, the top of this, even with the top, and then even with the edge of the slides, and then just, you're going to want to screw that in place. I got the wrong bit on. I'll have to change it out here. So just why isn't that going in back in the same hole? Oh, I got it backwards. So this needs a screw here too, because this is the place where your return spring is going to hook onto. So I'll put that there, and I got the other screw for it out front here. So there, that's going to hook in there, and then this is where, like I said, your little screen door spring is going to hook on. So you're just going to be able to hook it on the side of it, and then you can see now I can pull that down, and that will return the drill. So now we got to get the little cam system, the little lever system here. So this is the lever that's going to pull the drill down. So here's the thing about this is we have to have this in such a position that when this lever pulls down, it's going to be still kind of pushing this tight back too. If we were to have this lever up too high like this, you see when it gets to the bottom of the stroke, what it's actually going to do is it's actually going to push out on this board that the drill is running on. So we have to have it in such a position that when it gets to the bottom of that stroke, it's actually still pushing this way. If you were to look at it, it's going to be kind of, the lever is going to be pushing forward, and then that's pushing that block of wood that our drill's on toward this. If we were to push it the other way, it would end up causing the drill to bind at the end. So my block, I've got a block here. It's about 3 inches long, 2 inches wide, and 1 5/8 inches thick. My lever is the pivot point. I've got my pivot point. It's about 1 3/4 inches down from the top, and then it's about the center of the block. So you can see there's the position that's going to sit in, like this. So 1 5/8 inches thick. The thickness that I said, the width, 2 inches by 3 inches, and then this is 1 3/4 inches down. My little lever system here, my little lever, is 7.5 inches long. Now you may have to change that a bit if you're drill is thicker because this is just made so it just clears when it goes through the cycle. I didn't leave any room to spare. And then just a hole, a 3/8 hole in the end of this, just in the center, and it's back about 5/8 of an inch back from the end. And then just in the center. So there's where our lever is going to hook onto to go to the front. So I'm just going to stick that in place now. And I'll give you the spot where that's going to go here too. I'll measure it here just in a second once I get it in place. So I'm just going to screw that in place from the front here, just with a couple of screws. And if any of you are looking at that wood screw that's holding that lever, my other machine has the exact same screw in it from day one, and that's like 5 years ago, and I drill literally thousands and thousands of holes with that. So if you're worried about that not lasting or breaking or wearing out and you're thinking you got to have something more elaborate, don't even bother wasting your time. Put a wood screw in it. Make it so that the wood screw is kind of, you know, you could drill a little bit of a bigger hole for the wood screw, but you don't have to do any bushings or anything like that. This will last forever like this. So the position of that there block, it's about 1 3/4 down from the top, and then all you have to do is make it so that it lines up with this slot. So there, so you can see now it's lining up with that slot. So there's the lever that's going to get pulled on to drill the hole. So now we need the stick that's going to do that connecting. So this stick that's going to get connected to this thing is 24 1/4 inches long, and it's just a piece of hardwood that's about 1 inch by 3/4 or something along them lines. And then you're going to want to drill a hole in each end that's about 5/8 of an inch in from the end, and then just centered in the center of the stick. Same thing on each end, I believe. Now this one looks a little bit further in, but you'd be fine at 5/8 of an inch in on each end. And then you're going to need a couple of little short sticks about 3 inches long, and the same thing, 5/8 of an inch in from each end. And that's just a little connecting pivot there. So what's going to happen is this is going to act like just a connector. You're going to want to connect it together like this. And then this is going to go through that hole to the front. So then that's what we're going to have now. So what we'd have is, if we looked at the machine, now you're going to be able to pull on this lever from behind. If my cord wasn't getting bound up there, pull on the lever from behind and you'd be able to drill a pocket hole, as you can see, just like that. So that's it for this video. You guys tune in to the next number, and you'll see more on how I build this. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.